Since 2016 has passed, I thought I'd take a look back at some of the best games of 2016. Now this list is opinion based, they're not necessarily the best games of 2016, they're just my favourite games I've played in 2016. So if you disagree with my list, then just post your list in the comment section below. Hope you like the video, let's get in to number 5. Now I wouldn't normally put a sports game on the list because I don't really rate them that much because of a certain sports company who keep making the same game over and over and over again every single year expecting us to buy it, and we do because gamers are idiots. But anyway, 2K17 isn't like that. They actually improved on the game. Okay, 2K15 sucked. 2K16 was an improvement, but it was still pretty bad. But 2K17 finally makes wrestling games great again. I know it's still realism based, simulation based, so it's not as fun as the old wrestling games, the old arcadey ones where you could jump off 80-foot ladders onto... Okay, that's an exaggeration, but the old arcadey wrestling games are the best. But this is actually a good game. Universe mode actually feels like a universe mode because it's got the Raw intro, the SmackDown intro, all the intro stuff like that, so it actually feels like you're running a show, and the roster's actually large, so you don't end up just having the same old matches over and over and over again, because it actually has a lot of the current day wrestlers, including the 4 horsewomen, which the last game didn't have for some reason. Why? I don't know. And my career mode is finally decent. I'm still not a fan of my career mode. I haven't really played much of it, but it's better than the previous 2 years because you don't have Baron Blade everywhere. You could actually skip the NXT part, so if you don't want to face the same guys over and over and over again, you can just skip that part. Because to be fair, I hate the NXT part. It's just the same. Every person's NXT career is the same. You just face the same guys over and over again, but they fixed that. So WWE 2K17 is number 5. Now let's get on to number 4. Okay, if someone were to tell me that Watch Dogs was actually a good game, this is how I would react.
You serious?
But despite the fact that the first Watch Dogs was, to be honest, a terrible game, it was overhyped, it looked amazing in the trailers, but then when you actually played it, it was just a disappointment. Anyway, despite all that, Watch Dogs 2 is actually a pretty fun game. It actually looked good in the trailers, and I actually think it's a good game in real life. The trailers don't make it seem way better than it actually is, like the first Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs 2 is actually a fun game. Sure, it's not GTA level and there's other open world games better, but Watch Dogs 2 is actually a fun game. And to be fair, in the original Watch Dogs, I actually like the concept of having a hacker as the main protagonist. I like the concept of hacking in a video game. I don't know why it hasn't been done before, because it's actually a really interesting concept and really fun to like turn off traffic lights or hack into people's phones or hack into security cams and spy on people in the showers or something like that, because apparently you can do that. Yeah, you can do that. It is actually a really fun concept. So Watch Dogs 2 makes number 4 of the list. Okay, when the Battlefield 1 trailer came out, people loved the game. When the Infinite Warfare trailer came out, people hated that game and they decided they were going to move to Battlefield. And rightfully so, because Battlefield 1 is the better game. Battlefield 1 is, in my opinion, the best shooter out there currently. Not of all time, but currently out there, Battlefield 1's the best shooter. I like the idea of going back to World War 1 because it's actually something different, and since I don't really like the futuristic Call of Duty games, I wish Call of Duty would go back to the old days, or at least just the current time like Battlefield have. Battlefield 1 going back to World War 1 was a good idea. The name is kind of dumb. I know why they called it Battlefield 1 because it's based in World War 1, but that's really just stupid. They should have just called it Battlefield 5 or Battlefield World War 1, or just not Battlefield 1. That's a dumb name for the game. But anyway, this game is really fun, as you might be able to tell, because a lot of my recent video games have been on Battlefield 1, have been me playing Battlefield 1. It is a really fun game. They don't have the cool Levolution moments like they did in Battlefield 4 with the skyscraper falling, but every building, well, I don't know about if it's every building, but the majority of the buildings in Battlefield 1 can be destroyed, like all the houses and stuff like that. You can run a tank straight through it and kill anyone inside. That is fun. That is how you make a good shooter. Don't make it super futuristic, make it realistic, but don't make it too realistic. Make it realistic to the point where it's fun. Make it realistic so that you can drive a tank through a house and kill anyone inside. That is fun realism. That's what I'm telling you. That's what all shooters need to add. Fun realism. And the whole bullet drop on the snipers, that actually works. It's realistic, but it works. So Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1 makes the third on the list. Okay, to all those Final Fantasy fans that are probably going to dislike this video for not putting this at number 1, just hear me out. I wanted to put this at number 1. This and what is actually number 1 were really close together. I had a tough time deciding which to put number 1. I wanted to put this at number 1, but I didn't. Number 1 is just that tiny bit better. But anyway, Final Fantasy is still an amazing game. It's the second best game that came out in 2016 in my opinion. It is fun. Final Fantasy isn't turn-based anymore, but it's still fun. It's a fun game, the characters are actually likeable, the music's great in it, especially the opening music. As soon as you open the game and hear that music, you can just tell it's going to be a good game, because bad games don't have incredible music like that. The gameplay is good. It's open world, which I like because I like open world games. So far, what I played of the story was interested, and you know how, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, I made a video saying how I hated it when you had to complete a mission, but there was someone fighting by your side, and if they died, that the game would be over. Yeah, this fixes it, because if one of the other guys in the group dies, you can actually still continue fighting. You could revive them, but even if you don't revive them, you can still continue fighting. The game only ends when you yourself actually dies, which is good. That's how you do a level where you have to protect someone. If you die, if everyone dies, or you die, then the game's over. Not if they die. Because in games, normally the person you have to protect, they always suck at fighting, but in Final Fantasy, they're actually decent at fighting. So I praise Square Enix for that. And number 1, the best game of 2016 is Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4 is the perfect way to end a video game series, in my opinion. Take notes, Batman Arkham Knight. That is how you end your video game series, not the way you did. Although, to be fair, the way you did is pretty good. It's just the rest of the game and the Batmobile missions that were terrible. But anyway, that's how you end off a video game series. From all the trailers and stuff and what people had said, I thought Nathan Drake was going to die. And that would have been kind of annoying because it would have been predictable. But okay, spoiler alert, I'm going to spoil the end of the story, so if you haven't played it, just skip to the very end of the video. Nathan Drake doesn't die. They actually didn't kill him off. I thought they were going to kill him off, and because I didn't think they could have thought of another way to do it, and I would have been pissed off if they killed him off because it would have been too predictable. But they didn't do it. What they did was better. What they made him do was end the whole Indiana Jones rip-off journey and have him had kids, and then the kids find his old book, and then they just end it there. That is how you end off a video game series. And also, as multiplayer, I really like it when video games that you wouldn't think would have multiplayer have multiplayer. That's why I like games like Metal Gear Solid. It's not the type of game that needs multiplayer, but it just has it anyway. So that is a good thing about Uncharted 4. The story is amazing, the gameplay is kind of the same as the previous ones, which is good, and they don't overuse new features like Batman Arkham Knight did with the Batmobile. And overall, I just think it's a really great game. So Uncharted 4 gets the top pick of my game of 2016. Anyway guys, I hope you liked the video, hope you agree with some of the stuff on my list, and if you didn't, then just post your list of best 2016 games in the comment section below. Anyway guys, hope you liked the video, subscribe for more, and peace.